Hi, everybody.
Corey's making some beats for us today.
Yep.
This is going to be a difficult stream for me not to laugh. Oh, man.
Same. It's pretty hard not to have a good time with a looper going, you know?
Oh, yeah. So, I guess, what is our theme this week? Corey had a great idea.
Well, we got to talking. And, I should probably turn this off. We got to talking earlier. So we were packing up boxes. We're moving the office, as a bunch of you know, and we were packing up boxes and listening to Radiohead and trying to decide what we were going to talk about today. And Jay, we were just like talking about a song, and Jay was like, "What is that sound? You know, like how do they make that sound?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I can tell you how they made that sound." And it got me thinking, like, it could be a topic for a stream. And so here we are. And I wanted to talk about what I was just doing, which is live processing of vocals and other things using Ableton Live. It's fun.
It is. It's very cool. Just for like the 15 minutes before he started streaming, he was just messing around with stuff, and I was laughing pretty hard at what he was doing.
Yeah. Do you familiar with the work of comedian Reggie Watts? Do you know Reggie?
I don't think so. Yeah. Is that the kind of stuff that he does?
He's like a beatboxing, like looping musician. Here, I'm gonna get up and grab my water bottle.
Oh, okay.
You can hear me because I've got my lav on. He's a beatboxing and looping musician guy, and he does a lot of like comedy, like that involves like a loop pedal and like a keyboard, and his mouth. But anyways, if you guys don't know Reggie, he's great. But anyways, it's pretty easy to be funny with some like vocal effects in your voice too. Like, it's just a silly activity.
Does he do everything live? Like
yes. Yeah, he's like.
I think I might know who you're talking about.
He's an improviser.
Yeah.
Dude's really talented. He's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't really think of much of a structure for this, other than like I wanted to demo like some delay effects, and just talk about how you can maybe kind of like give like a little walkthrough of how I'm using my computer as an effects unit, basically. Ableton is a really flexible piece of software. You know, I've demoed a bunch of like music production stuff where I've like created pieces of music, but like it can also just be a processing tool. Some people just use it just for that, you know, to like augment the sounds that they're making. You can use it as like guitar stomp box or an amp modeler or like kinds of weird crap like that. I just wanted to give a really brief overview of like mostly how some time-based effects work, because I find those effects really interesting, and those are like the things that I use when I affect my voice, and because we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
You know, like a surprising number of the effects that you hear in music are just delay effects used creatively. So, you know, most of the time when you think of like, I guess like what is delay, huh? So we should probably talk about that. Ooh, I got this gate going on here. So like a delay is when you delay a repeat of the signal. So I can pull out this device called I guess it's now just called delay. And you'll hear that right now. I'll say something. And it echoes. Delay. That's how it works.
It's pretty exciting. I used to, as a kid, had a karaoke machine, and it had like the built-in delay, and that was the funnest thing. Like hours of entertainment.
Oh, totally. Oh, it's the most fun effect for sure. So I don't know if your machine had like any of the fun parameters that we're gonna get to mess with here, because I'll probably work this like simple delay here for a second, and then we'll get into the more complicated one.
Okay.
And I'll try and make this palatable. Let me know if this sounds insane to everyone. So the basic parameters of a delay are like how long the delay time is and how much it feeds back. And so those two things can like do quite a bit. And then I guess whether the signal is whether the delay effect is in series or in parallel. So we'll talk a little bit about signal flow too.
Can you explain to everybody what you're doing with the mic? I just noticed.
Oh, what?
How you've got the
Oh yeah, I got a little
cloth
grippy on
there.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
So what does that what does that help with?
comfort grip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not to like.
No, it's not technological. No, it's just comfort grip. I have to hold this thing for a while.
Well, you still got your lav mic on, so.
Yeah, you're getting double me right now, and you're actually getting you're about to get triple me because you're going to get delayed me too. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I'm talking into this as well. Just force a habit. Yeah, let's just talk about those talk about those parameters. I'm going to set it up in parallel right now. That's the most common way that it's used. This is a really important audio processing concept to be aware of, series versus parallel. Series is like one thing after another, right? And parallel is side by side. So I can have my vocals either directly into an effect, or I can have that effect in parallel with it. And so generally we run delay effects in parallel, so you hear the full like unprocessed amount of my voice, right? Like so this is like my full voice, and I can like add some of this delay to it like this. So okay, so here's clean voice, and then here's clean voice plus a little delay. And I can mix that in at however loud I want. So that's like the main parameter. You know. You can also then mess around with the delay time. So this is kind of a long time right now. A shorter time creates kind of a different sort of effect, right? This is like more like what we call like a slap back kind of a thing. If you think about those old Elvis recordings, there's like kind of a lot of that sort of thing. Even shorter delay times create something that's a little funkier sounding. So like here's a really short delay time, and it almost sounds like a whooshing effect. A little shorter, sounds a little like weirder. Hear these kind of like weird sort of sounds.
What was that? I heard a really deep voice.
Yeah, you caught the fun thing about this plugin. So this is like an analog modeled sort of vibe here. So what this thing does is when I change the time while it's being fed a signal, it's re-pitching the audio. So if you imagine what a delay is doing is it's like it takes a signal, and right now it's taking 157 milliseconds and then playing it back. So if this were like an analog effect,
right?
If you changed that time, you do that by like re-pitching the buffer of it.
So is it actually like capturing and recording a bit of the
essentially
saving that to RAM
kind
or
of
something?
Yeah, capturing maybe isn't the right word, but yeah, it's grabbing some audio and like
putting
and
in
spinning.
temporary
It's just like hang on to it for a second, then spinning it back.
Right. So it doesn't take a whole lot of processing.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is like it's like an analog effect. You can do this with tape machines and stuff too.
Okay. Is that done in analog with like a coil or something?
Or
how do they?
The like traditional traditionally it's like a tape effect, and then there's like the circuit design is called a bucket brigade, which I'm not a electronics guy, so I can't really explain to you how the guitar pedal works, but there's like an analog but non-tape version of this as well that has a similar kind of repitching effect.
Oh.
There's kind of a classic delay thing. So it's my favorite thing to do with delay. So like here I'll bring it back in here, and then if I while it's grabbing my voice, if I increase the time, make it or I'm sorry, if I decrease it and make it shorter, it'll pitch the audio up.
There you go.
And if I do the opposite,
that's cool.
So you can go up, and down, and down. Yeah, so that all gets a little more interesting if you have like
So that all gets a little more interesting.
longer piece of audio in the buffer.
Oh my gosh.
So like here's where you might want to use the feedback control. So here's the other important control. So feedback allows like instead of one repeat. Whoa, where's my
I'm hearing
repeat?
kind of a
One repeat.
One repeat.
There it is.
There it is.
We're gonna get multiple
We're gonna get
repeats.
multiple repeats.
Multiple.
Multiple.
Is that causing the ringing? Can you hear that too?
No,
Or is that just on my end?
I don't know what you're
I
getting.
don't know what you're getting.
What are you hearing?
What are you hearing?
Could just be that I had that too loud. Yeah. Okay, we should be good.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
So that's a pretty long delay time. And
Is
you
the
can
ringing
really
gone?
play around with that.
I used to do. You hear a bit of ring. Okay, it must have been on my end. Is it gone
Yeah,
now?
it's pretty clean on my end.
I think I may have just had it to.
Well, now you should hear a bit of ringing because I'm doing this. This is a very short delay time with
goodness.
with like a high feedback amount. You get these kind of like robotic artifacts. The length of the time determines how robotic it is.
Robot.
That's pretty fun.
I remember Windows Movie Maker, when I like first started making films as a little kid, had the thing where you could like speed it up or slow it down, and you could just do like the speed effects. So
Yeah.
you get the really high pitched or really low, like that was the definitely the fun edits
Totally.
for the time
There's-
dilation stuff.
You know, I never really tried the like. There is a tuning plugin in here. Does it do like just? Oh, it doesn't. No, never mind. I want just like a cool like repitching effect in here. You can't. There isn't really a good one in Ableton. You can kind of fake it with this plugin. It's like the closest thing you can get to that.
What was that?
It's this thing's called the grain delay. I mean this really isn't it, you know. It's ping ponging. Why is it ping ponging? Oh, there we go. Oh, I put it on the wrong place. There we go. So, you know, that's kind of a sort of a live repitching effect, but it's pretty ghetto. You know, it's not really doing the job right like we'd want it to.
Oh.
There's a bunch of weird things you can do here in Ableton. So, what are some like actual uses of this? Because like I've made some like nutty sounds, but like how might you actually use a delay effect to do something cool? So, the most common way it gets used as like a rhythm effect.
Okay.
So, I'm just gonna like turn that kick drum back on because I was like making some funny beats earlier. So I have it set to, the delay time is set to 2, which is 2 16th notes right now. So that's 2 notes per beat. So you can hear that like every time the drum plays, it's getting 2 repeats.
Oh, it actually is like echoing on the beat.
So like it only echoes on the beat if I make the sound on the beat though, you know? So if we
Oh,
slow
I
it
see.
down, so like you know what I mean? Like if you get like a weird offbeat sound. So but it does repeat in time with the beat. So if I can manage to like play to the beat. Seems to actually be falling slightly behind. Yeah, so it's like not with that much delay. Like you hear it kind of like mixed in quietly like this, like underneath like pop vocals sometimes. So like if people are singing along to this, you might hear a little quiet delay. Something like this. Hide the sound of my voice. Kind of makes things feel a little like full. Obviously this isn't like mixed in super great. One of the problems with this sound is that the delays all like are the same tone as my voice, right? So it would be helped, like, it sounds kind of muddy, especially if my voice gets low, you know?
Yeah.
So you might want to EQ it a little bit. So it's pretty common for delays to have a filter. I've got one here. So I can kind of filter out those low notes, low, right? And it doesn't get so, like, wackadoo. So if I'm gonna make up some song to this here, you can sort of hear how my voice gets it's kind of like a reverb, but it's not. It's a delay. It serves a kind of similar purpose, but it doesn't take up as much sonic space.
Oh, okay.
Where, like, like a reverb effect is going to get, like, washier. I mean, it doesn't have to be like this, of course, but, like, that's a different kind of energy. Just sort of a different thing. It's really, so, like, a common sound is you hear a little bit of both. So, like, and then with a little bit of that, you send your reverb, or your delay to your reverb. So now my delay is reverbed as well. Anyway, so this is like this kind of like live, a common sort of a live processing chain that you'll hear. We're getting a lot of echoes here because I have the feedback time turned up really high. So if I turn that down, down, down.
We're trying to make music. We're getting there. What were you doing?
Are we making music? This is a great question. We're kind of demoing some techniques right now.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like sort of a general like vocal kind of like live processing thing. One thing that I'll do too is like I'll like take this sound and I'll throw a compressor on it. Sidechain. We've gone over this before, so don't know if I need to explain this. Sidechain this to the lead vocal, and now every time my vocal comes in, it's going to duck out that delay and take a little second to come back. And kind of, do you hear how now it kind of swells up naturally after I'm done saying stuff? So I can turn the delay time up a little bit and it's not so interfering with the sound of my voice. That works really well. Here, I'll crank it so you can hear a bit better.
Jay forgot to change the name of the video today, so.
What is the video today called right now?
Jay always forgets to change the name.
That's a great title.
I think it's still the trailer.
Oh, yeah. Film trailer. You're going to be really disappointed if you're... No wonder you're curious if we're making music.
Teaser
Are we
trailer
making music?
Yes, we are supposed to be making music.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to consider what this is music. So you can hear kind of hides out beneath my voice. Makes a nice effect while the piano's going. If you can tell what's happening. Anyways. So that's like a great setup for like a sort of a live process. Getting that side chain at the end of your vocal chain here, or of your time effects, like allows you to like kind of like you can push it a little hard and know that you're gonna just not overload and get some like screaming, like freaky out of control feedback that takes over and like 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 that sounds terrible, but with the sidechain on, all of a sudden it's tamed and it's like a little more reasonable. You can make that as aggressive as you want, you know. My audio signal is actually kind of coming in low right now for some reason. So anyways, that's kind of like, you know, like a basic generic sort of use of delay. It can be really fun to like throw it around with like something like this, but where you can change the time. So like, you know, like this a little bit. This one has this kind of built-in thing in here. It has a modulation section. So what this does is allows us to like, we can change the rate of the delay, or the delay time, I should say, with an LFO. So I'll just add this. I'll turn this up so you can hear what it does. What is it doing?
What is it doing?
It's also a fun sound. So like, yeah,
Wow, wow, wow.
yeah, you can kind of hear what that's doing, right? So.
Okay. Title should be good now. Maybe.
So I just kind of engaged this other like audio effect here, which is the looper. So like in terms of live processing audio and Ableton, you might be interested in using this. This guy's like kind of works the same way as like your typical loop pedal. Allows you to do all kinds of weird stuff. I don't know why it popped in repitched down all the way to -36. So anyways, let's back this up a smidge so you can kind of hear what we're doing. So this sounds pretty nutty. So here's our raw loop. And it's getting fed into a delay.
I need to learn how to use Ableton too. Corey's a good teacher, so a lot of helpful tips for you.
Feel free to ask me a question. I know it's like you got to get hands-on with it to really figure it out, but if you have any questions about what I'm doing, like that I don't explain as I'm doing it. Right now I've got the audio on one channel over here on the looper, and I've got, oh god, I've got this other, I've got a delay here on this return track. I'm not, like, it did some really funny thing.
Yeah, it's a little intimidating when you first open it up. At least it was for me. There are definitely a lot of bells and whistles.
So here's our loop. We got a kick drum thing going on here too. So turning up the...
I think what helped me when I first like started looking at Ableton was the what do you call it, the more like normal view, the like the timeline view where you can switch it, and this is very like reminiscent of, oh yeah, you're doing live stuff, but like for editing music, the other
like,
view,
it's called arrangement view.
Arrangement
in
view.
Ableton.
That once I looked at that, the arrangement view, yeah, it was a little more easy for me to understand because I'm used to like video timelines. So once I turned that on, I was able to understand a little better what was happening. But I don't know if that's helpful. It's definitely because that's what I'm used to in like Audition and and Audacity.
Yeah,
all
totally.
like, you know.
Yeah, so this view is definitely like this is like the live performance view, like the
Yeah.
and like it's sort of the mixer view. So you probably wouldn't end up in this view if you weren't doing something like that, you know. I'm just gonna let's attempt to do something else here. Since you asked if we were making music, like maybe I'll try and actually make some music.
What you're doing earlier with like recording a bunch of different tracks and laying them over each other, that was really cool. That
Yeah.
would be fun to demo.
So that's happening right now. I've got this looper pulled up, you know.
Okay.
Like we could add something to this.
I thought that
That's
was
getting
pretty-
fed live into the delay. So I'll cut that out. Yeah, here's our. You hear that kind of like. Oh, it's kind. I guess it's kind of like crapped out on us now.
Ooh.
This is like the sound that ended up in our looper somehow, like some weird glitch.
So once the sound ends up in there, do you have to like reset it?
Yeah, you can undo recording.
Oh, okay.
So that's like I can beatbox along in here and like add loops to it. So this is all happening in one track. I'm not a beatboxer.
Well, it was like you made a whole song in like 5 minutes earlier with the.
Oh yeah,
doing it
yeah.
that
Well,
way.
yeah. Okay, yeah. You heard me getting really weird. So like maybe let's just like demo that. Like I'm just gonna rush back in with what I was showing Jay. Like and
Yeah.
we'll get freaky with it a little bit.
I like that. That was really entertaining.
All right. Yeah. So
So
let me set that up. So I'm gonna try and recreate some magic from earlier, just
Okay.
because it was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
So I can demo this other thing, which is both a demo and also some like edifying for myself because I don't really use the looper very often. So looping is really another form of delay, right? It captures a signal, repeats it, and plays it back. It's just like a delay with like an infinite time that's just like designed to work in a specific way. Loopers that's like a digital thing. There's not really I mean, you can make analog loops, but this sort of live synchronized looping thing is a digital construction. So in that respect, like Ableton's not any worse than any hardware for this. It's just a different workflow.
Oh, okay.
People do love their dedicated hardware for everything, myself included. But since I'm not like a looping guy, if I ever need to do some looping, which I don't, here's where I do it. So basically, like the idea is pretty simple. The way this plugin is set up, it's like I hit record, and then when I hit stop, it's going to like fit that into a regular time. It's going to assume I'm trying to play in 4/4 based on the global tempo or time signature. I mean, so I could probably get this thing to do some other time signatures if I wanted to, but the like most of our music doesn't happen in those time signatures. So sorry if you're trying to make like some looping Irish jigs or something.
Oh, why not?
Well, it's just a pain in the butt.
Is it?
Or I don't know. We'll find
love
out.
that kind of
so
music.
maybe we'll mess with some odd time signatures here. But like, so again, I'm not like a beatboxer, so like I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're just gonna here we go. I'm just gonna do something. Oh, okay, yeah. So one really important thing is you gotta have the transport stop. So if I don't have playback happening at all,
Thanks.
right on. Thanks for tuning in. We're doing the same thing here, figuring it out one loop at a time. So I'm just gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing here. Okay, here we go. So I've successfully recorded one track and overdubbed it. You can hear the sync kind of drift off because I'm like, this is a skill you got to practice. Like if I was smart, I'd turn my metronome on. Yowzer! You guys getting that hot?
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
It's not too bad.
If we were gonna be like real pro about this, I could like send. Check this out. I guess if I configure my audio outputs correctly, I can send you guys a mix without the click.
That's just a metronome.
Oh, it's not. Oh, it's the. I said
Yeah.
the wrong way. Whoops. Weird.
There you go.
Are you getting the same mix as me? You're supposed to be getting a different mix.
I hear the
Oh, that's so bizarre.
sound.
You do hear the sound.
I hear the sound. I
Oh,
don't hear
you're
the
supposed to
metronome
be-
anymore.
Yeah, huh.
The metronome's gone. Oh, now
That's
it's
so
back.
interesting. Anyways, you can route these things to different outputs. I'm not going to spend the time trying to get it to work with this audio interface because that's not very exciting to watch, and we don't need to do this right now. But you know, you can definitely get it set up where like the mix with metro comes to me and mix without metronome goes to the house or something like that. You know?
Oh.
It's super easy to do when you have your everything set up right. I'm super puzzled by it why it didn't work that way just now. But whatever.
Well, it was just the metronome. It was like flipped around.
Yeah. I just don't understand why you're getting outputs. Anyways, doesn't matter. Whatever. So anyways, so I successfully laid this thing in. So you know, like with the metronome, it's like a lot easier to like kind of like feel the groove and like get a little solid. You know, like so I could like undo that last one.
We had a request for you to make some snake jazz.
Snake jazz, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's a reference that I understand but can't recall. So good one, whoever that was. Who said that?
Izzy should be watching somewhere. So thanks to Izzy for the.
Some snake jazz.
Mhm.
Love it. Oh yes, now it took me a little hissy second, but now I remember. All right. Anyways, so like this, I can do overdub recording in this. Like it's like infinite overdubs. I was trying to make a song and I got distracted with trying to do things like. Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah. Here we go.
I think the delay came in.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. You can do that kind of thing. Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Why is this signal so quiet? It's really interesting. Oh yeah. Here we go. 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 That sounds like something super fun. Whoever this is, Fox. Here we go. I would be into doing that. Oh yeah. Maybe not on this stream, but that's like maybe like a next week kind of thing.
Yeah, I wonder if
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
I wonder what the best way to. I think
yeah.
you can send messages on
Here we go.
like through YouTube. If you were to like subscribe and send, I
Yeah.
think you can. I don't know if you have to be subscribed or if you can just like send a message with like an unlisted YouTube video or something. We could.
Oh, yeah.
see
Yeah,
it that
private
way.
SoundCloud links or unlisted YouTube both work really well.
Yeah, we've got our Instagram too, which is just at MARZ Project.
Yeah, you can DM us
Um,
there for sure.
Yeah, or yeah, through the. I'm pretty sure you can direct message channels on YouTube. Although I've never done it, I think you can. But yeah, we'd love to check it out. That'd be cool. Hello.
I wanted to show you this trick because I think you noticed that I had something cool going on. Oh, great.
Oh yeah, on Twitch. I guess you're watching on Twitch.
we're on like Restream or whatever,
Yeah.
so we're like
YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So wherever you can find us, that works. I forget about Twitch sometimes. We don't get many people watching from Twitch, so
totally.
welcome.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Thanks for being here. So I want to show you guys this thing, cause just how I got this thing all like juiced up, sounding like this.
Juiced
Let me get it a little more.
Is that a technical term?
I'm sorry.
Juiced up. Is it a technical term?
Juiced up.
Yeah.
Yeah, juiced up is the technical term.
That needs to be like the phrase in the background. Juiced up.
Juiced up.
Yeah. Love it.
So I've got this plugin going on here. Oh, it's really adding a lot of gain too. Holy cow. I'm using the Drum Bus plugin. This is an Ableton plugin, and it has this section called the boom section, which is basically like a subharmonic synthesizer. Sorry, I'm getting that gate triggered. So it's a subharmonic synth. So basically adds low frequencies to whatever sound I'm making. So
Oh, we got 2 people watching on Twitch. Awesome.
yeah, thanks Twitch folk. Thanks for being here. So anyways, this is where I'm getting this low end. Boom.
Oh wow. It's pretty crazy.
It's kind of fun because it's like, with enough sensitivity on this mic, it's really triggered by any rumble. So you can use the handling noise of the mic to your advantage. Just
That's so cool. It's like instant bass.
yeah, bass from anything. So it's kind of fun. So like, let's make a loop with this. So I'm gonna try and do it like nice and in sync. Like I'm like more fun tempo too. I should do this right. So like. That didn't go well. All right, we're all learning as we go, so let's get this thing louder here. Here we go.
Nice.
So in this case, like I've got because I had the metronome going, so now I've got like a synced recording happening. So I can be sure that this is gonna like be in time, which is nice. You can hear a little bit of headphone bleed in there.
Whoa. That's cool.
So
I
anyways,
like
here
that.
we go. Try to sniff to the beat, you know.
That's so cool.
So this is all microphone sounds being processed live through a single plugin and some reverb. The reverb does a lot, you know. I'm running Soundtoy's little plate over here. I have a lot of like the low end cut out of it.
That bass is great, isn't it? Yeah, headphones are definitely the way to go. I'm glad that that's coming through on the stream. I wasn't sure if we were getting the full like.
Yeah, it's hard to know like how the quality comes across.
Right.
You know, so it's not, it's good to get some good feedback.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So,
thank you.
anyways,
Wow. Anything you do with that sounds cool.
yeah. Trade secret.
You can make a whole
Yeah,
tracks with
here.
one microphone.
through delay sounds cool. Boop.
Some dancing?
That's on Jay.
Why? Now he's not gonna let me get away with that. I'm not doing it.
So yeah, you can use the delay to create these kind of like fun rhythmic effects too, you know, like
This could be
so I can like make like piano chords do some more interesting things, you know, like you know, you get that kind of like bouncing echo effect. Maybe I can make that a little more pronounced for you. Yeah.
So how?
Great question. Here's all the software off. Here's like the here's the raw piano sound. Really crappy out of tune barroom pianos kind of thing. And then like without the like kind of like cool processing, like that like beatbox loop is this. So it's a lot of software, right? Like a huge part of the sound you're hearing is this drum bus. To make that vibe. Again, without it.
It's quite a significant.
And with it. And then I've got the reverb. Is what makes it feel like it breathes and like is like turns into music. Without that it's kind of it's like a claustrophobic sort of weird thing. Thanks. I'm glad you think so. I never know if anyone else is interested. This is what I do. You know, this is what I think is fun. So I'm glad you do too. Yeah. So, anyways, the live processing thing is kind of fun. So I can like add like piano to this loop too if I felt like it. Like it can all come in one track if that's for some reason something we want to do. I might try and do that. Like, see if I like don't screw it up though. Didn't really seem like it took. What's up with that? Oh. I had the record not enabled on the right track. Let's try that again. I didn't realize that was the actual volume was gonna come in. Let's get this going in here, right? Here we go. Try it again. One of my rules in here is if I make a mistake that's acceptable enough, I roll with it.
I just wanted to do a quick shout out for Fox for following us. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
appreciate it.
3rd follower.
Woohoo!
Yay.
This is our 3rd follower celebration.
Yep. Yeah, bring that bass back. Bring that bass back.
Yeah. So like one of the oops. One of the flaws about this workflow is
Yeah.
is that there's no separate tracks here.
Oh.
You know, like
It's
so
all
this
the
is like
same.
the quick and dirty looping method, right? Like
Right.
Ableton is totally set up to like do that kind of thing, you know. So like I could yeah. Oh, I can't like undo far enough to get the clean drums, so like you only get like a couple layers of undo here. I guess I could like how far back can I undo? Let's experiment here. I guess I could like how far back?
So what are the
I guess I could like oh, undo too far, I think.
So Mookie has a question about how like layers and like getting it done. Like are these considered like the layers?
Oh, yeah,
of
so,
the
like, it-
track?
Oh dear, I've undone myself to a very strange place. Oh, sorry, 1 second here. Dear Lord, what is happening?
Where have you returned to?
What?
Prehistoric times.
It was one of these times when I cranked the reverb.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like how do you know when like your production's done? Like, gosh, I'm probably not a great person to ask that. Like, I'm kind of a maximalist, like in terms of what I like to do. Like, I like stuff that's super noisy. Like, I really like Panda Bear a lot, and like artists like that. Like, he's like very big on like using the entire sound field and kind of creating this like giant sound world that like shoves you into the middle of it. And so like I don't know. It's about the kind of like feeling you're trying to create. I think, you know, like music and art is about conveying emotion and like a vibe, you know, like so like whatever's like enough depends on like kind of like the function of the song that you're making, and like is it doing the things you would hope it would do, you know, like I mean, you know, like a solo piano thing, like one layer is plenty, you know, but like
Yeah.
you know, so like depending on what you're doing, like there's a, you know, it's all like different things are appropriate. I would be super into like as I forget which one of you mentioned this earlier, like I would love to like critique tracks. Like none of my students have asked to do that on here,
Yeah,
so
it
I'd
was
be
Fox.
happy to do that
Fox.
for like, especially like if any anonymous internet folks want that, like the no
Yeah.
pressure of a stranger saying something about your music. I'm happy to do that. I think that'd be fun.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. But so like if you don't mind chatting like what kind of music you're making, like I might have some more specific advice, but I probably will just be like, it just kind of depends, you know, like if you're making some like contemporary music like that you want some people to like shake their butts to, you probably want like some like bass and some drums in it, you know, and then like, but it's more about like keeping interest rather than like how much stuff do you need. Oh yeah.
Don't think. Okay.
Okay.
I'll figure this out.
Yeah, Jay will work on that.
Here's Corey.
Totally. Thanks for talking to us. It's so nice. We've been
We don't
chatting
typically
into
have
the
anybody on
void
Twitch watching us.
sometimes.
Oh. When you're talking on the mic, I think you definitely get.
Are we peaking?
It's been pretty good actually.
Great.
I was just saying we don't get many people watching us on Twitch. So I'm surprised.
Totally. No, it's a nice change.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
so if I was gonna like, you asked about layers, right? And so I suppose we might talk about like the alternate way to do this, right? Which is kind of like how we've done stuff in the past in here, you know, which is kind of like a build up stuff like track by track. The one nice thing about the looper effect that is worth including it in your arsenal of things. The one thing it does is that you can use it to start a set at any tempo. So like if I you know, say I want to like start a song with a loop that I beatbox or sing or something like that. If you either have to have a click track so you can hear where the beat is, or you can do that with this looper plugin. Like doo doo doo. Here, I'll do like we'll make like a beat around like that like thing from The Little Mermaid or whatever. So like doo 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 doo. You know. So I'll see if I can get that to loop. So like I don't know what tempo this is. I'm gonna pull a tempo out of my head here and just deliver it, and then I'll reset the sets tempo to the default BPM, which is 120. I'll turn that boom boom, and then we'll see. I wish I could make that a little less sensitive. You don't have control over what triggers it with this plugin, unfortunately. Anyways, so when I like it'll just like I'll hit record, it'll record, and then I just have to hit like loop in the logical spot in my performance, and it should loop it at whatever tempo I sing it at. So I'm just gonna pick something random. So here we go. Do 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 do. You can hear that the fun effect of it's called you can hear these things called beats when my singing is slightly out of tune. You can go whoa 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 whoa. You hear it almost like wobbling.
Oh, I guess we have 5 followers on Twitch. Sorry, yeah.
If anyone who sings better than me wants to come do the stream, feel free.
I don't know if we have to enable the whispers thing on Twitch. I'll have to do some digging. In the meantime, if you want to, our Instagram, it's just MARZ.project. You can also email us too. So that's the Instagram. Then email works as well, and that goes to both of us. See. Oh, what? Oh, there it goes. Okay, showed up kind of weird in the chat, but yeah, I don't know why the whisper isn't working, but I'll try to look into it some more.
So now I've got my like loop that I started, and this beatbox loop broken out into separate layers, as you mentioned, you know. So I can do different things to them, you know, like I want to like gate those drums because they sound pretty silly. So let's create some like rhythm out of that.
Oh, nice. We talked about screenwriting on one of our last.
Is that how you found us? Like, do you think this was a screenwriting stream?
I definitely changed the title since we did that. But,
Apologies if that's the case. I'm glad you're still here.
yeah, that is on our YouTube page. I don't. Twitch should be like keeping a archive. I think they only keep them for a few months. But it's somewhere on there. That one was a kind of an experimental stream. We were trying to have guests, like remote guests kind of thing, using some new tech that I hadn't tried before.
So doing a little thing right here where like I've taken this beatboxing loop.
Oh, sweet.
And I've added a little short delay. To create some extra rhythm. Sweet, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it a lot. Glad someone is enjoying this.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you like the 3D modeling one. I'm trying to figure out how to structure those. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Oh yeah, hey, I want to test something out.
Okay, we got your message. Sweet. Awesome. Thanks, Fox. We'll definitely check it out. We'll probably set that up for next week.
Oh yeah, I should have done this sooner. Too late for that.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do. Yeah, the Blender intro should still be up, I believe. One of these days I'll get around to making shorter versions of those.
Let me show you some other weird delay things you can do.
Okay.
I think it'll be fun. So there's some like similar kinds of effects of delays here in, I believe it's now called the phaser flanger. So you're gonna hear some things that like sound kind of like those delay effects, but different. The simplest one to understand I think is the doubler, which does exactly what it sounds like. Remember that's just like a single delay, this kind of like slapback thing. And it has an LFO on it. I've demoed this before, I think, in here, but this is that same kind of idea.
Whoa.
Yeah, no. So.
Yeah, 3D Studio Max is pretty cool. It's been a while since I used it, but definitely very powerful. But I love free software, so I can't get away from Blender. Plus, it's great to teach too, because you can make it easily accessible. But if I could, I would definitely have that on the computer too, because it is industry standard. Definitely a good one to learn to use.
So what I love about this is that these are all live effects. So like,
You could be up on stage and just like turn different ones on when you're ready.
yeah,
for 'em.
totally. Yeah, here I'll show you actually. Let me see if my preset made it over here. User library.
What is that?
Okay,
Very
here we go. So, so this, oops. So here we go. This is actually the rack that I used when I was playing live shows with Ableton. I think this will mostly work.
Oh, really?
Does that work? No. Oh yeah, these things won't work. So well, like I'll show you some of the live effects. I think will work just fine. Yeah. So I had this macroed up to like oh man, that sounds super cool.
Yeah.
Short film in Unreal.
That's something we'd like to be.
Yeah, we were talking a
getting
lot about
into.
doing short stuff in Unreal.
Yeah, we were
And
talking about it
audio
earlier
for
today,
that stuff.
actually. Pretty cool.
Totally. Yep. All this stuff. All this is relevant. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta have like those 3D projects. You know, there's no ambient sound to collect. You know, you gotta create all that stuff, or you know, you gotta be creative in capturing or collecting all that stuff and making all your assets. So anyways, so my live rack is pretty straightforward. I tried to keep it to 8 effects so that I could like apply it easily to any. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we're glad you found us too. We'll be doing a lot more content on that sort of stuff in the future too. So like, you know, every week we'll be here.
Yep.
So aside from reverb and delay effects, which I demonstrated already, I had just a like kind of basic high cut and a low and like or I guess it's like mislabeled. Yeah, high cut and low cut filters, so I can like edit the sound of my voice. And then these modulation effects, like a flanger. Oh yeah, dog barking. Here, you want some? Here, I'm a dog person. I'm a dog owner. Here, let's demo this real quick.
Corey's got a demo for
Let
that.
me just find you some dog sounds. I know I have dog sounds for you. How did my
Get the dog out.
Okay, this is a great one. Here we go. I went to Thailand and like the street dogs are wild there.
Whoa. Is there a chicken in there too? That sounded like a chicken.
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yes. So let's we're gonna turn this into the background for some music. Okay. So how are we gonna do that? Well, here let me show you what my little plugins do for my live processing.
Sound like aliens now. Weird.
Let's like shorten this clip because it's like pretty long. Before we do anything with this processing, so again, let's go back to the original. Let's I'm gonna cheat. Well, I'm sorry, I won't cheat and warp it. Never mind. We're not gonna warp it.
No cheating, Corey.
No cheating here. So I've got some like rhythm already. Yeah.
Weird how that just fits.
Rhythm effects, you know, like as long as it's in time.
What? So cool.
This is kind of one of my favorite tricks here. I think I've done this in the stream before too. It's like
Corey can make music out of anything.
I'm pretty big believer in that.
Yeah. Here come the vocals. Love it. Can this be our news our new intro song?
This really honestly isn't terrible.
We make this a loop and we can just use it as our starting soon screen. It's got that kind of space feel to it.
Yeah, totally. So that sound is like, that's manipulating the delay time live, you know, that's like...
So if you were like performing live, you probably have some kind of like push thing set up and like some dials that you can like physically.
Yeah, like this sucks, like honestly, like like doing this like manually like this, like I'm like clicking all this around on a trackpad, you know, like a huge part of like doing this like and being like creative and performative with it is like having hands-on controls that you can use to like actually do stuff, you know. I'll like demo that again, like someday, like maybe, you know, like maybe I'll bring the little thing out and like play a tune or something like that and like show you guys how it works.
I like the live stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, like I think it's really underutilized. Mostly because I think it's like it takes so much preparation that I feel like there's like a little like oh, there's some crazy ringing going on in that.
Oh, you're hearing that too?
Yeah.
There it is.
It takes a lot of preparation, and it's just not like super intuitive. And I think like you got to really want to not DJ, because like so much electronic music performance is just DJing, you know. So it's like you really got to be stoked to do it live. But like I'm like a live musician who like got interested in electronic music because I think it's cool sounding, not because I like wanted to be a DJ or whatever. So you know, if you come from this from a different angle, like from the DJ dance music angle, like it might be a lot more important to you to like figure out how to DJ your tracks than to like how to like do some like deeper performance of them. Because
well, we might have a guest.
Yeah, working on getting some.
Yeah,
I have a couple of guest DJ teachers for the stream in mind actually. But like one of them actually, I was just about to mention Angel, who former MARZ person, used to DJ in or like plays tracks out in Ableton, but more or less stopped, and now he seems like he just does everything like in you know, like with CDJs. Like it's practical if you're performing DJ. Like you don't have to bring your own setup with your own crap. You just like bring your thumbs drive with your music on it, and like it's really simple. It's like so it's a practical choice, but there's so much creative freedom in this thing. Yeah. So yeah, additional hardware. So I have a mic and I have an audio interface, and that's all you actually need. However, so you need a way to get sound into the computer, and then you need a way to get sound back out of the computer. So you can like totally like if you're not doing any live audio processing, like you can totally just like play audio out your headphone jack on your computer, like into a PA system. Like if you have to, like you totally can do that. Like it's not ideal, but it works. More stuff allows you to do more things, you know, like the outputs here are going to be better in my audio interface. But the main advantage to this is that, well, it has like my microphone inputs, but it also has, this interface has multiple outputs, so I can like, and with multiple mixes available. So I can give myself one mix for headphones and send another mix out to the front of house. So like I was saying before, like I can have a click track in my mix that doesn't make it into the front of house mix. Yeah, so this we're using a Focusrite 6i6, and this thing has here we flip. Yeah, we have this is a software mixer for this thing. So you can see it. I really like how this one's set up. It's pretty straightforward. You know, the top channel here is our like headphone 1 and monitor outputs 1, and then headphone 2 and lines 3 and 4 get their own mixes, and then there's a digital output as well, which I don't know. I've never had any reason to use that. But anyway, so I can get like 2 different mixes here. One for myself and one for the front of house, or like one for myself and one for someone else I'm recording. So this is like a pretty handy like I don't know. I always recommend if anyone thinks they might want to ever work with someone else, it's really useful to have multiple headphone outputs. Super useful. And then in terms of complexity, you can get more inputs and outputs with more complex interfaces to do different things. You know, like if I had like say if I want to like bring a hardware synthesizer and add it to my voice, well, I've got like a single mono channel left on this interface. But if I had a stereo synth that I wanted to bring out, like I might need something with more preamps on it. You know, like in order. So like it kind of all depends on what you're gonna do. Doing a lot of research though is really helpful because it's really easy to think something's going to work one way and then not. It doesn't actually, but it's one of those kind of like live and learn type of things. Like I've used a lot of different audio interfaces until I've found a few that I've liked. So.
Yeah, it's some preference too.
Oh sure. Yeah.
Same thing comes to video equipment. What what you need and what you don't need and. Right. What will make your life easier?
Yeah. And it can come down to like one little thing. Like my favorite thing about this thing is that it automatically every output on this thing has like the audio return from the computer is populated. It's just a software DAW playback. Here's our channel 1 and 2 out of my software. I just realized how to get you more outputs. I think I have to make sure. Anyways, whereas like I use a UA Apollo at home, and that I took a little setting up, and I have to use some DSP in a virtual channel in order to do this, and it's kind of a pain in the butt actually. Like the mixer is a lot more powerful on that thing. It allows me to do a lot more stuff, but it's like for like basic tasks, it was like way more of a pain. So like it's. So I'm grateful I have that thing. It does a bunch of stuff that my old Focusrite doesn't do. But like, it's like, do most people use those features? No.
Right.
Do I use those features that often? No.
Depending on the scale of the project and things like that, what you actually need.
Yeah, the main advantage of that interface is that it hosts plugins on the hardware.
Wow.
Which is cool, but they're really expensive. So
yeah,
make of that what you will.
For the plugins for it.
Yeah. Everyone's got their like it's a workflow preference thing for sure. Like I like Ableton because it's what I know and I'm super fast in it. Like my friends use Logic or FL Studio or something, and like they're not necessarily like they have their advantages and their disadvantages. Like but they all ultimately do the same tasks. Mm-hmm. And so like it for me more boils down to like. Are you doing any does it have any feature that is specific to the thing you're doing? Jay and I have been tripping out a bit on like how like the music recording gear and video audio gear can be so different, even though it's the same basic tasks. But the feature set of like mixers designed for video people are really different than the feature set of mixers designed for audio people. Strictly, and like it's just like kind of funny little things like that. So getting the right tool for the job. But and also like in personal preference of course. In terms of audio interfaces though, and this kind of like basic thing that I'm doing here, like this is completely like if you just want to mess around with it yourself, like anything will work. Like a Focusrite's a good brand that gets recommended a lot, but there's other like similarly affordable things. As long as it's like as long as it is all right. It's all right.
Unless it gives you more trouble than it's worth.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes, I've known people who've had trouble. Yeah. I've known people who've had trouble with the Euphoria interfaces, but I also like every time in an online forum, I'm like, I know a bunch of people who've had trouble with these. I get dumped on by like a bajillion people who are like, I've like My grandmother hiked her Euphoria interface back to her school uphill in the snow both ways for 75 years.
Oh
and
my
like,
gosh.
You know, like never failed her once. Like,
Yeah.
You know, like so it's like I don't know. It's personal experience, personal preference. It's a
Sure.
whole weird. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're talking about hardware again. We always do.
We always, yeah, it always comes down to hardware.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, the hardware is the interface between my brain and the computer. So
Yep.
like, you have it's inevitable.
Yeah, it definitely depends on what you learn with too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's part of the reason why I like to, stick to free programs, because then, you don't get locked into a what's the word? Like a software lock, I guess. Like if you learned on Adobe stuff, and then just the rest of your life, that's what you know, so you're paying Adobe monthly for the rest of your life to do your job, and you're stuck with it.
Right.
I mean, you're not obviously stuck with it, but if you learned on that, it's hard to
Totally.
to transition.
I think it's also like I think it's good to remember that like probably you'll just switch anyways to something else eventually. There'll be some tool that becomes better than this thing,
True.
or like the nature of the job will change. You know, like we talk about this thing like like the idea of the digital audio workstation like Ableton. Like this is I mean the concept is older than 30 years, but they weren't really widely adopted until like 20 years ago.
Oh.
You know, they were still recording pop music on tape machines until the late 90s.
Jeez.
You know, like, so like, and I mean, not that a bunch of music doesn't still get recorded on tape machines, but not for aesthetic purposes. It was just like more efficient to do it that way until then, and cheaper to do it that way until then. And so anyway, so like, Ableton Live's only been around for like 10 years. Like, who knows if it'll like survive 10 more? Like, like maybe one of its competitors will be just like way superior and cheaper, or maybe someone will open source something that's like it but better. Like, I pray that somebody does, because please, if anyone out there is a software developer, please consider the the immense space of open source visual editing software and the complete barren wasteland that is the offerings of audio software in that regard. Audacity, you're doing great, but you are not what I'm talking about.
Not quite up to
Not
snuff.
not exactly. Well, Audacity is not that tool. It's not really intending to be a DAW, like a production tool. It's intended to be an audio editor with like a lot of features.
Ah.
Like, and so you like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just missing everything that you could want out of a modern digital audio workstation.
Okay, so mock scenario: you're on a deserted island. You get one free audio software to use, and you have to make a whole album to get off the island. What would you pick to use?
Oh man. So I might. Do I have internet access? Can it be cloud-based software?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you can't send an
Okay. All right. It's not like
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
restricted to
Zoom,
that site.
not Zoom. Like help. So there's some like cloud-based tools that are like seem to be stepping into the space that are interesting. So I might like opt for something like what is it like the name that comes to mind is Soundtrap, but I know there's other options as well. There's a few of those. I might choose something like that. I haven't spent the time to get to know the like, what are those two? There's Studio One free, and what's that other one? The name eludes me. There's a couple of them though that like these like free desktop ones. That might be a thing that I choose. It's so on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna think of it as soon as we turn the stream off. Just you watch. If I think of it, we'll put a link to it for you guys. There are a handful of these like free digital audio programs, but they're Windows only. I'd probably honestly like if I can bring my Mac, I'd just use GarageBand.
Oh, okay.
That's my answer.
There you go.
Period.
Because it comes like stock on all Mac.
Yeah, GarageBand's a free. Yeah, if you own a Mac or any Apple device, you have a copy of GarageBand. So that's the cool thing too. It's like it's on your phone, it's on your iPad, it's on your computer, it's everywhere. It's the simplest one to use. Like really, what I want is a like open source Windows supporting version of GarageBand. Like it, even if it didn't include the sounds, just the workflow is really easy. I think the software I was thinking of is Traction Waveform.
That thing.
Um,
Produce like a pro.
yeah, Produce Like a Pro says Traction Waveform. Deci really still looks the same as it did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Cakewalk,
Oh, I've heard about that one.
that's the thing I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple of these, and then Studio One Prime. So either Cakewalk or Traction. I think we're gonna mess around with these in the MARZ studio like coming up, and maybe we'll maybe we'll do a stream on like me learning them because that actually sounds kind of fun and funny.
Yeah.
If you guys want to watch me flounder around like I did tonight, but even more so, be like try and record a song in one of those softwares. I think would be an interesting challenge.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about like workflow is key, but like I don't, like if you can do what you need to do without spending much of money, it's great. Like there's, it's 2021, and like we should have free audio software that works for us.
Yeah. We should do a like a swap, and I'll produce a song, and you make a I don't know a video, or I guess it would be something that you could work on, or that you could work on like on the computer, would be a little animation or something.
That'd be fun.
Make a animation for a song,
Totally.
and then combine them together to make something.
Yeah, man. I'm into it. Little skill swap.
That would be funny.
Might take me a long time to animate anything.
Probably take me a long time to make a song.
Yeah, because that's
But we can like help each other on stream.
totally, yeah,
So it could be like we trade off weekly, like as a series.
totally. Yeah, I'd be into that actually. That sounds fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll check one of these. I'm gonna put that down as a stream idea, so like to check
Yeah.
one of these things out, and like try and familiarize ourselves with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we said we'd be in our new space this week, but hopefully next week.
Yeah.
We're keeping our fingers crossed. And maybe next week we'll show off the space. And I would like to or we can talk a little bit about the music that Fox sent us.
Oh yeah.
And do a quick little review of that maybe in the beginning, or
Totally.
toward the end. We'll see what happens next week. If we are in our new place, we'll probably do a little tour. I don't know if we'll have internet, so we might go in, video the space, and then bring it back and show it on stream, and then talk about it. And then we can do a little bit of music stuff too.
Yeah. That sounds fun.
Awesome. Well, definitely. What do you think? Should we wrap up?
Feels like about time.
Come up with some background
Yeah.
music for our videos.
All right. Yes, we've been talking about doing this with some students, so I'm gonna add these to my list of ideas for the stream. Because that's rad.
Video scene or trailer? You mean like a video scene from something that's already made, or something that we make? A trailer that we
I
make?
like the idea of doing an existing scene. I think it'd be kind of fun.
That would be interesting.
That's like will be a homework assignment for like a student. Like any student of mine who was like wanted to score a film, I'd be like, score it, like pick a scene that exists and score it.
Oh.
It'd be super fun.
Huh.
So that'd be pretty neat.
Yeah. I see.
So cool. So we're gonna check out Fox's tunes. We're gonna score a video scene trailer. What was the third thing?
The trade,
yeah.
or the trade, the whatever you want to call that.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna demo Traction
Oh, Traction.
or Cakewalk. Fun. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, we could do that
Oh
too.
yeah. I like drama or conflict. Okay.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I know we talked about doing that kind of. Since I haven't really done much like video editing on stream, showing us filming something and talking about the process of filming it, and then doing an editing stream, going through the whole process of that, and then we can take that and make a soundtrack to it. So we can make if you guys have any suggestions on what what the drama is, or what the conflict is, or what to make the trailer about, we can kind of center it around that. Maybe we figure something out. Depending on what space we're in, I think we'll have a good set. The new building's a little. Some of the areas are kind of scary. We could do like a.
Yeah.
You turn the lights off in that building, and there's no windows, so it would be just pitch black.
We could Blair Witch it up in there. I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
yeah, it'd be spooky. Especially how it looks now.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, yeah, animation, how music is made for it.
Yeah, totally.
Lots of ideas.
Love it. Thanks so much for hanging out, you guys. And I know this stream was kind of all over the place, but it was nice chatting with you and hearing a little bit about what you're interested in. Because yeah, we want this to be cool for anyone who wants to tune in. So we're just nerds who like to nerd out too. So
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us what you're stoked about.
Sweet. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for coming and hanging out. And we'll be back next week at 5. Not sure what it's going to be, but we'll
be here doing something.
Here. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Alrighty. Take it easy, everybody.
See y'all.